as I was mentioning to Neela yesterday, an exquisite video. And I really feel as if in the 11 plus years of Still Moving Center's history, it is the best video that we've ever had. And we've had a lot. So I'm just like really applauding all of you. How did you do this?
But I think first is Neelanthi, who find really the way how to work all together. And she has, personally, she let me space, but she knows the path. So this is perfect to work because we know where to go. And it was challenging, but when you are happy to do it, everything goes fine. So, and then I discover after the images, and wow, I was like, oh man, great. So really happy from the beginning to the end to do this, and happy to see you because I just see you on the video. So you live.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah, I got to experience Renee dancing a couple of times. That was a real joy. Gosh. I think for me, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but it was like for me as a videographer, like it's only as good as like the community that I get to work within. So like, you guys have been working for 10 plus years. I mean, the community is there, to get everybody to show up to these different events, obviously that's a lot of scheduling, but people wanted to be there. Like it's easy when people like want to be in a spot and they believe in it. So, I mean, that personally makes my job super easy. And enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree with both of the guys. There's a lot of material to work with. So there's, Still Moving Center has so much experience and depth and variety that there's just so many ideas to pull from. So it's actually hard to distill that down to 3 minutes, right? That's actually the challenge right there. But then working with two guys like this that have so much talent at also kind of honing in on what's important. Luke really hones in on those images that are so powerful, and Jean-Philippe is someone who creates like just these beautiful sounds and environments, and even though he's never been there, just being able to describe it to him, give him some reference, and he just like takes it into a whole other level. So I think between the two of them, it was very inspiring to work with them, and it was easy for me to then just kind of throw an idea out and get a lot of feedback from them and a lot of inspiration from them.
And the funny thing also, I mean, for the music, the funny thing is that we had a talk, the first one, I guess, yes. And of course I was like, wow, we're changing. But then we talk, and then come this music. I mean, the idea, the melody came just after the talk. So, and normally I used to work with dancers that they don't have the musical word to say things, but at least just talking with them, you feel their vibes, and I don't know, there is some kind of connection even with the distance, and then you start to guessing maybe my feeling could fit with her feeling, and comes like this quite quickly. I didn't know if she will like it, but at least the theme she liked it. So then we did everything around. But that's great. One shot, let's say, that's great.
Well, 27 shots, right? 27 versions in the end.
The first, the first idea for straight, basically always like this, But at least we had the main idea straight, but then after, of course.
Yeah, all of those are just little variations on a theme, just kind of refining it into the finished product. But you had the main substance of it just kind of came instantaneously from the connection between the two.
Exactly.
And it feels to me as if Neela was conveying to both of you something that was very authentic to Still and Moving Center. So that as Luke showed up to these different events and began to produce the images that then you, Jean-Philippe, started to see, it was very consistent with what Neela had initially conveyed to you. Is like you didn't have some huge surprise. Well, she said this, but now I'm saying that. Did it seem natural, the images, after you heard Neela's description?
Yeah, she was really, I don't know how you say that in English, to directing, I don't know the word for in English, to really, I don't know, it's a mix of strong ideas, images, and at the same time you are free inside of those things. So when we talk about it, and then she showed me the images that she built up before to shoot, and then I saw the images and totally in confidence. I don't know if you say that.
He felt like he was in confidence, that he never felt like he was being taken off track. There was not a surprise, but he also felt that he had space creatively to also work within that, and so he felt comfortable with that, which is good. Thank you. I'm glad.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was really also, I liked so much the images. I mean, the movie, it's like really great. I mean, so of course give me more ideas to how to manage the music around and everything. So it's really like a ping pong, you know, like everybody's giving and accepting and giving all the time. So that's the great, I mean, for me, it's the best way to work.
How was it for you, Luke, in that regard? Did you feel that ping-ponging back and forth?
Yeah, I don't know, it's good advice a mentor gave me like a year ago, and it's just, 2 years ago now, and just like the attention to feedback. Like, Luke, you're a creative, you know, but I think your ability to be able to like solicit feedback, receive it, apply it, you know, and also have like your own filter on how to, you know, so I was hoping, you know, I think from the first time that we all met, I think that was like very evident. Like, yeah, we need to be able to like say what you want, you know, this is an open space, say what you want. You know, I think, yeah, especially as we kept going, like, yeah, and initially our initial vision was maybe a little bit different than what we got, but yeah, I always felt very comfortable saying what I wanted to say, you know, saying what I, you know, yeah, and then also, you know, just from two other creatives, working with two other creatives, you know, it's like interesting to hear how everybody sees and applies feedback. You know, obviously from my aspect, I'm a filmmaker. Like the music is the other half of any good film. Typically, I just like take music from the internet and kind of mix it together. But it was nice, like seeing, like, and hearing from the other side of the audio. Like, no, this is kind of how my brain processes this. So, like, yeah, as a creative, that also was super helpful to me in a future project. So. Yeah, it was just like very much of a learning process for me within this.
I think one of your first emails was, you know what, just tell me straight, don't pussyfoot around, kind of, you know, I want to hear it. I want to know, I want to get the feedback clear, and you don't have to worry about it. There's no ego, no personality. And so we have these monstrous email chains that have just gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth through, you know, the last few months. And yeah, they're all straight talk, you know, nobody's being, you know, particularly like, well, maybe, you know, we're just saying, okay, yeah. I think this doesn't work. We got to fix it, you know? Yeah. And then, so that's good. It means, you know, it's, you know, mature people working together and for a goal, you know, a common goal. And the goal is not our, you know, our ego. It's the product in the end. Yeah.
In the community.
Yeah.
That goes so much towards smoothing the rough edges, doesn't it? When you have really a shared goal that you're all three committed to, and nobody is insistent on this is the way we have to do it. It sounded as if you were really able to work together beautifully as a team, which is, by the way, so consistent with, you know, the sense of community that Still and Moving Center itself seeks to engender. And what was it like for you to have these different threads moving through? I don't think I've ever been aware of it happening in another video that I was involved in before. I have watched it. I watch a lot of series now, like BBC series on TV, and they're very well done, very well acted, very well written. And I'm seeing 3, 4, 5 different story threads working through any one episode, and going, wow. And then to have Neela come up with these different storylines within just a 3-minute piece was something I'd never known to happen before. And what was that like for all of you?
Amelia, that was like your idea from the get-go. I feel like that was like something you had thought. So I guess I never asked you this question either, like where you came from.
Yeah, I remember showing the storyboard the first day to Renee, and she was like, I don't understand what this is. I mean, I trust you, but I don't really get how that's going to work. And and then I showed you guys the storyboard as well. And so I guess in my mind, I had the idea that we needed to represent as many of the kind of like the most important values that Still Moving Center represents, right? And how could we do that in an engaging way, because it is a wellness center. We do deal with physical health, but we also deal with connection, and we also deal with healing, and we also deal with joy. And, there's all these other parts of it that I wanted to convey in it. And I didn't feel like I could convey that in just one through, right? One, story of one person going through something. So from the start, I knew that we had to kind of attack the same idea, but with different angles, and just have them simultaneously traveling through that time, that 3 minutes that we see people building into the joyful dance, celebration. We feel everybody gathering together for, a communal class. We sense that one student experiencing something with her teacher on a one-on-one. So all of those ideas had to kind of be represented somehow. And then there's so much to see on Oahu. Hawaii is just such a spectacular place. I didn't want to just hold it in one location either. So the idea of having all these different threads, it just kind of gave me a palette that I could choose from that was really nice and luxurious, right? I could have these different locations, different colors, different flavors, and different stories, but all really drawing in that one place and community, which is Still a Moving Center. So that was where it came from.
After looking at the community, you guys offer a variety of classes, a variety of different activities. And there was also a very diverse group of people that come in the doors. All out of the love of, I guess the love of community and the love of dance, and also just well-being. I think, just this attention to their well-being, and whether it's, so yeah, I think it was only fitting to kind of look at different people's perspectives, and everybody approaches this well-being in a different manner, which I think is the beautiful thing about it all.
Yeah, I definitely wanted that element of Hawaiian authenticity within it as well. So drawing on our kumu to allow us into that ocean cleanse with her, and that ceremony with her, that was also really important to have, because it is an underpinning of the center's mission as well, is to stay really authentic and connected to the place, which is Hawaii, which is a really magical place. And what's amazing is that Jean-Philippe was able to communicate that place that he's never been to musically, right? He was able to really draw on all this reference material that we talked about, and then the melodies and the instruments and the sounds, and then the visuals were inspiring to him, I think, as well, and that he was able to represent that location, via Zoom is kind of amazing.
That like a musician, I used to study a lot of different percussions and drums and so different from all over the world as I can, of course, not everything. But I used to be interesting and respect the music, the plays, the people who are playing this, why they are playing, when, and this kind of stuff. So of course, in this case, that's why I said it was challenging. Because I was wow, I have to really respect the people and the music. And so, of course, I I knew some of them, but and Neelanthi helped me also to go really in the music who are really important, and we talk about it. She informed me a lot, and it's always better than Google. So I was really happy for that. And from there, yeah, I because I used to do that, to take some music and try to find really the skeleton of or the essential taste of the music. So, and I try to do my best. But then it's her who said like, okay, you are in. It's okay. So, but no, really interesting. And I'm happy because then I'm learning again another culture and another sounds, another way to play. And I try to bring because I'm myself, I'm a mix of everything. So I try to bring all the things that I can to be more worldwide as I can, of course, with no pretension. But so I try it and enjoy it anyway.
That was very successful.
Happy.
I think, Neela, didn't you play for him some of Malia's Ipu gourd drumming?
Yeah, I sent him a couple clips, and we talked about different instruments and which ones would be appropriate, and also some of the sounds of the ocean and the birds, you know, that they be authentic.
The waves are really the waves from Hawaii, and the birds are from, it's not, they are really from there.
Yeah, so. I didn't realize that. And of course, anybody, for example, who knows bird songs would recognize whether or not that was authentic. It would take quite an ear to recognize the ocean sounds. And I'm sure there are people who are tuned in enough to do that. Yeah, wonderful. And Luke, what about for you? I guess you've been filming on Hawaii for a while. I mean, on Oahu. So what was it like for you, for example, trying to get something authentic but also give a variety about the location?
Yeah. Interesting. It's like a double question. The authenticity isn't like something, you know, it was like trendy these days. Like, I want everybody to be authentic. Well, like, I don't think you can like tell somebody to be authentic and like, okay, all of a sudden they're authentic. Like, you know, I don't think like it comes from like maybe a sense of like they're feeling like they're in a space where people don't judge them. You know, where you can speak freely, you're in a comfortable space with people that support you. So like, you know, all those things, like I just say those, but like, yeah, I think it's evident that those were all there in our shoots. You know, everybody wanted to be there. They believed in what we were doing, you know, nobody was forced to be there. So that just comes natural, I think, the authenticity. Location. This is like the interesting thing about Hawaii. You know, I was just in Guatemala for a bit. Like, as soon as I just land here, like within like the first hour, I just feel like healthier and more like pure. So again, I think that's another thing that just comes with Hawaii. I think, you know, we went to some beautiful spots. You know, so that comes with that. Like, my favorite was the Kumu and Lanikai, not Lanikai, but Kailua. Like, that was just like amazing. Yeah, how can you not? I guess, like, how can you not notice the space, the location? But, you know, I think the location is only as beautiful as the community and the people that are there. So together. They just kind of like, they were there. I think like Hawaii just attracts beautiful people too, not beautiful people, but like, energetic. I think we all have like, sorry, John C, this is like, I don't want to brag here or anything, but it's one of the reasons I chose this place as home. Like people are curious about things. They're excited about life, working on something, doing something. Like not necessarily just working, but like they have a passion, and they're just like, go for it. And people encourage it.
Yeah, and every location like every scene that's in the video has a person in it, right? There's nothing really that's just the landscape, right? Where we're always seeing how people are engaging with the land. That's what's beautiful to see, I think, in all those visuals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to come now. Thank you. Thank you.
I got a free room in July. Come on in, Jancy. My room just opened up in July. I got a room in the house. Yeah.
But I will for sure.
All right.
Tell me what specific challenges each of you had in regard to this film.
For me, it was that's how to be to represent as much as I can the music from there and bringing other stuff and mix everything that feels natural, and this was more like, okay, what can I put this that really fit well and bring really something extra, but that you don't feel like, oh, this is weird, that gets fit really well in this kind of, because of course there is a lot of instrument inside that is not coming from there, but that can fit, and I wanted an orchestra because from the beginning, Neelanthi told me that, we need this kind of climax. So I was like, okay, I felt like, okay, orchestra, but it was also how to mix orchestra with this ukulele. Mm-hmm. This was the challenge. I don't know if there is, I never heard a piece like ukulele and orchestra. So I was like, okay, let's try it.
And that also is so still a moving center. I have been almost since its very opening a member of the Institute of World Culture in Santa Barbara, California, which is dedicated to lifelong learning and learning from all the different cultures of the world, past and present. And so that is part of the basis behind Still a Moving Center to begin with, that we're going to have movement practices, mindful movement practices from all over the world. So what you did very, very well captures a lot of the essence of Still a Moving Center. If you had done, just your version of a Hawaiian piece, that would not have served, that wouldn't have represented who and what Still a Moving Center is. Right? So, how appropriate to mix an orchestra with ukulele. That's very Still a Moving.
From the beginning, there was we had a plan. We had a very good plan. My job was, it's just it was a different, as a videographer, you're shooting lots of different things. There's lots of different styles. So I don't really consider it like a check. I'm more of a curiosity. I love shooting in different styles. This was a different style than I normally work a room. But it was good. I learned a lot, and there's a lot of shooting techniques that I'll pull into other shoots. So I don't consider it a challenge. I consider it a very welcome challenge. Seeing different styles of shooting, different styles of composing. So it's always a challenge that I experience in every. Just try to stay open to it, and put it all together, and hopefully find my style as a creative, and what is it my message and my style is meant to portray. I'm still pretty young, so anytime I can get around people that have been in the industry and done this for a long time, all three of you, I best listen best I can. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the there was a challenge in the scope of the project, in that Still Moving offers so many different things, and there were so many stories I wanted to tell. So I had to cut them out, right? I had to bring it down to the essence I thought would be the most important. So there were things that got left on the, on the cutting room floor that didn't make it into the video, unfortunately. So that was challenging. It's always challenging to have to like let some things go to be able to really stick to what you want to portray. That would be number one. And then just logistically, it's monstrous when you're doing logistics for a film shoot like that. But then on top of that, I was at a distance. I was not even on island to organize all that. And I landed on island, and within 3 days we were filming, right? So it was really kind of just staying on top of all of those little tiny details, wrangling all of the people that had to be involved, and make sure that all of those timings and locations and details and transportation, everything was handled. So that kind of stuff. Luckily at Still Moving Center, we have these incredible staff members who are so on it, and we're so supportive, and like just fantastic to have move us through those days of filming really smoothly. They actually just went to a T. Like we were able to capture what we needed. We even had a little bit of time sometimes left over to just breathe and enjoy these locations we were on. Like that was kind of special too, to have that. So yeah, good challenges, always good challenges.
Well, I think I have what I need. I have some little idea of how all of you created the magic that turned out into that video. It's always a bit mysterious, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
You never can quite put your finger on it, and I guess that's what makes it magic. But I'm so grateful, really, to all of you.
Thank you for everything. Enjoy life, and I hope see you.
All right, aloha.
Arigatou, Sari.
Aloha. Bye bye.